Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel for the final day of Buildmas. It is day 12. We have made it. It has been a struggle to keep up with Buildmas this year, obviously having a little one, but I am so proud of myself that I managed to do it. So this is the final day. I am currently whispering because it is 20 to 5 in the morning when I've been editing and finishing this recording, so I hope you do enjoy it because I have lost a lot of sleep over it, but I'm happy with how it turned out. Today we are going to be creating a Christmas market in Wish Blossom Ranch. I'm using the area that's kind of got the two different levels to it, where Scrooge and Remy's was originally. And I decided to basically just make a super festive Christmas market. I love going to Christmas markets this time of year. I actually went to one this evening just gone. So I took a lot of inspo from that and used the things we had in game to recreate my favourite Christmas market vibes. So let's get started. I will obviously not be talking the whole way through this build, just because obviously the time of night. But as you can see, I decided in here to do a railway system using the subway cars as well as obviously the train tracks from Oswald. I just feel like this makes so much sense in a Christmas market, and obviously the market I've been to had a similar vibe, so I decided to add that in. I originally did it as like a curved kind of strange like pathway because I wanted it to be a little bit quirky and a little bit kind of like a weaving track, but it just did not work with the pathway and with the spacing. So as you'll see as I go forward, obviously I start off with it being this kind of odd pattern, but unfortunately I did have to change it to be something a little bit more straight and down the middle, just because it was really difficult. If anyone does manage to do that, I would love to see it, because you have skills that I do not have, because I really struggled with it. But I would love to see if anyone managed to do it, because I'm sure someone out there has. But obviously, as I said, I did this railway track down the middle. This was something I definitely wanted to include. In this top level, I added things such as some of the Arendelle city centres that we get in the most recent Star Path. And in here, I add in a really like cozy bar seating area. Every time I go to a Christmas market, they have like the bar area or like the drinks area where you go in, you sit in this kind of like cozy cabin. That was the vibe I went for in there. So you'll see later on, obviously I add in some Christmassy tables and some benches, and some of the new little like bars that are in the new Star Path to kind of create that. Up here I also add in a load of the market stalls that were in the premium shop last year. I'm sure they'll come back at some point. And as well as that, I made obviously a little train station, which you can see right now, to basically be like the little stop off point. So I use some of the Disney park entrances to make that, because these are my go-tos when I'm making a train station. These are just the buildings I find the best, and I just like how they look. So I added those in. Up here as well, I obviously added in my well, and also a bunch of like food stalls, food trucks. I obviously included some of the ones from the new Star Path and some that I already had. Some of them were from like Disney Park Star Paths or like theme park themed ones. So there was a huge variety. And then I obviously kept some really like nice Christmassy lights down the path. I obviously added a lot of the new gold ones, which I'm absolutely loving using. I feel like these are going to be my go-to even after Christmas. I love these gold lampposts from the bonus rewards, which I'm so happy I've just unlocked those. So that is basically everything for this top section. Now for the bottom section, obviously this is a little bit of a spoiler because you are not going to be anywhere near the bottom section anytime soon. But obviously I need to tell you about it. So down there, obviously the train track doesn't continue because it is quite a small, it's a much like smaller width, and I knew there just wouldn't be enough room. So I decided to make it just really pathway heavy. The first kind of spot I did in there was an ice skating rink. It's quite small because again, this area is quite small in width. And obviously I'd already done a big ice skating rink up in my village, which is like the biome right, like the section right next to this one. So I didn't want to do, you know, another big ice skating rink, so I decided to add a little one in there, which you'll see, and surrounded it by some rustic fence. I also added in a Santa's grotto, kind of like Santa meeting area. I did this in my plaza build on a bigger kind of scale, and I wanted to kind of do a mini version of that, so I added in that. I also added in a couple of rides, like the little train, Nightmare Before Christmas train, as well as the Nightmare Before Christmas little like carousel, just to kind of look like the rides you would get at a Christmas market, or at least the ones here in the UK. As well as I obviously added the Mickey Ferris wheel. Some of the other rides I would have loved to have added, but there just was not enough space. So I feel like if you were going to recreate this in a bigger biome, it would be amazing to include some of the other rides, especially like the Dumbo ride, things like that. It was a shame that I couldn't fit them in, but I feel like that would be cool if maybe I redid this on like a floating island or something, just to give it that bit more space. I do find doing builds in any biomes that are not floating islands means that I struggle with space, so I did have to make some sacrifices when it came to the rides. As well as that, I added in a little like bonfire kind of hangout area with some of the new items, and basically just kept everything feeling really whimsical, really busy. I wanted to include a load of market stalls and like food vans and food trucks. Obviously I do repeat a bunch of them a load of times because I wanted it to obviously look like they are for different foods and things like that, like you would have at a market. And that was pretty much everything I did. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget anything with my explanation. I basically just added in a load of bright lights, a load of fun, brightly coloured things, a load of Christmas gifts, which obviously does eat up your item limit, so maybe give those a miss if you have a smaller one. But I wanted to go big for Christmas and for the final day of Buildmas. So I added in a load of gifts, I made a little makeshift Santa sleigh. I just basically made a Christmas market that I would love to go and visit, and took inspiration from ones that I'd been to recently, and pretty much just enjoyed the fact that it's nearly Christmas. We're only a couple days away, so I wanted to kind of go big with that. But on that note, that is enough rambling from me. Enjoy the video, enjoy the Christmas lo-fi. Sorry I can't talk my way through the build, but I'm very busy packing to travel home for Christmas, and obviously it is 5 in the morning, so I need to be mindful of the other people around me. So I will leave you with the lo-fi and the build. I hope you enjoy it. I will see you for the walkthrough in the end, so I will be back, but I'll see you then. Bye.
Yo.
Hello, I have returned. It is me. So here is the walkthrough of the build. As you can see, we're starting at the top section. We've got the well with the wintry skin on it, some of the food trucks to bring us straight in, and then obviously the train track, which I'm really happy with how it turned out. I put the wrought iron fence around it to kind of close it off, and I just love how this looks. I did have to make a bunch more, but it was worth it. I also added some of the fireflies all around the build to give it this nice glow and go with the twinkly lights. I obviously added in the light up fountain for this section to cut through the train track, and then some of the Disney Parks buildings with these light up bushes outside. We've got our first kind of bigger set of food stalls. So we've got the pretzel stand and the refreshment stand from the second Disney Park Star Path, I'm pretty sure. And then we've obviously got our wooden pathways leading us through the train track. We've got our second little bit, which is the little photo booth area. So I added in a couple of the wintry benches and a Toy Story photo booth, which I just love because it just fits with the vibe. I've obviously got the subway cars, which I added the Beast and Belle snow angels underneath to make it look like there was snow under the train. I just kind of did it on a whim and I was like, this works. I was going to add snowballs, but I knew that wouldn't look good. So then I was like, touch of magic, and then I figured it out. I was like, no, that works. Then we've got our photo opportunity area. I loved making this, so I added in some of the gold New Year's like backdrops and then items to make a photo opportunity area. And then towards the end, we've obviously got some more food trucks, the little tourist truck from the first Disney Park Star Path with some like little memorabilia on, and then obviously the light up reindeers to kind of round that area off. Heading back around, we obviously go past our train station, which obviously I just used some of the Disney Parks entrances to make. Nothing too crazy, quite simple, but I feel like it worked. Obviously over the train track, I added in some of the wintry lampposts to kind of change it up and add a bit more festivity to it. And then I added 3 of the market stalls. I added some of the inauguration ribbons outside to look like queue lines. And then obviously the little popcorn stand and things. And then the big tree. You could obviously use the craftable one if you don't have this one. That'd be a good alternative. And then in the 2 Arendelle city centres from the current Star Path, we've got the archways leading us in to the festive tables with the benches and the bar. I wanted this to feel as like cozy as possible and really feel like the bars you'd have at an actual Christmas market. So I kind of did that obviously on a smaller scale and added some food and stuff to the tables. I was going to go for more of like a tavern vibe with the tables, but I just felt like this was the perfect opportunity to use these Christmassy ones before Christmas is over. But a good alternative is I was going to use the like dark wood rustic tables with the more like rustic benches, or those benches. So that is a good alternative if you don't have those Christmassy tables. That is what I was originally going to do. And then as we head down past the market stalls again, we've got a little hot cocoa stand, and then we've got a couple more of the green benches to kind of round off this area before we head down. So obviously as we head down, we are now going into the bottom section, which is a lot smaller and thinner, so it is a lot more condensed. But as we go, we've obviously got the same theme going on with the same pathway, same lamppost, same lighting, everything like that. We've got the truck leading us in, and then on the left is our first main area, which is the ice skating rink. I wanted to keep it really simple in here because, as I said, I did make a bigger one up in Wishing Alps, kind of the village area. So I kept it quite simple but added some lights outside to make it really feel like an ice skating rink. We've then got our little music area. I didn't really know what to do in this spot, and I thought it'd be fun to make like a little snowman band, so I added in a little singer and some musical instruments. We've then got our rides with the inauguration ribbons outside to be the queue lines again, and then our little Santa's grotto area where people can queue and meet him. And then we've obviously got our little like warm winter bench area with the fireplace. I absolutely love this fireplace, so I had to use it, any opportunity to use it. And then we've got the little train with, again, a little queue line and Mickey kind of introducing people to the queue line. And then in the final bit, we've obviously got the Santa sleigh, which I made some little reindeer with the little craftable Yule log little reindeers. And then I have got the Ferris wheel with some queue lines again, a little hot cocoa stand, and then obviously the exit out to the village. So here are the shots of the final build. I hope you guys did enjoy this build. I genuinely loved making this. I feel like because it was such a like condensed and thin biome, it made it more challenging, which I really found fun. When we first got the DLC, I looked at this biome and thought, what am I going to do here? And my first plan was to do like the village here, and then I ended up doing it somewhere else, and I was like, what can I do here? And I thought Christmas market has to be somewhere in Wishing Alps, so this is where I decided to put it, and I really loved the challenge of fitting it all in. I love the vibes in here. It really does remind me of Christmas markets I've been to before, whether this like smaller kind of thinner pathway and they've got the train going through and all the different stalls and everything. but I love doing it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for all the support on Buildmas. I hope you guys have been enjoying. Obviously the videos will stay up, so if you did miss any, go back and watch them. There's been loads, not all Christmassy themes, so if Christmas isn't your thing, there has been some non-Christmassy ones. But obviously at this time of year, I had to make the most of doing Christmas builds, you know. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for the support. Obviously I won't see you now until after Christmas, so I hope you all have the best Christmas. If you do not celebrate, I hope you have a fantastic week, and if you celebrate other things, I hope you have a great time with that, or just enjoy your day. Honestly, even if you don't celebrate, I hope you just have the best day. Thank you so much for the support. Make sure you like and subscribe if you did enjoy the video, and I will see you for the next one. Bye.